Welcome everybody to the first Minima's Weekly Choice. Of course, this will be I nearly said bi-weekly. It will not be a bi-weekly. It will be a weekly, hence the name Weekly Choice. The idea being, we have a hashtag on Instagram, probably not Facebook, Instagram, and you tag yourself, and then we basically pick the best ones from the hashtags from that week. Well, maybe not that week. We could probably go back a little bit further, but the point is, each week we pick one or two or three. An assortment, right? Good time to bring Lionel in, but hold on.
Mini Matters, a miniature and painting podcast.
Oh wow! What a way to go. So Mini Matters Weekly Choice.
Yeah, so if you watched our first episode of this year a couple of weeks ago, we introduced a new show and we were going to be looking at sharing your work more. It's going to be confusing. That's going to be under the hashtag Mini Matters Daily Choice. The reason being is that's a hashtag that we had live before. That being said, this show will only go out weekly. So essentially the show is called is Mini Matters Weekly Choice. Right. But if you want your work shared, use a hashtag. This post if you follow our social media. So yeah, we just wanted to do a quick show where we pick some of our favorite pieces each week. We have a look at them, have a general discussion, just celebrate what's going on in the community, paint and hobby wise.
And can we tag ourselves in that lineup, or would that be a little bit cheating?
You can, Jamie. Nice. To be honest, I tag my work in there just to try and get some movement and traction.
Nothing worse than turning up to a party, you're not the only one there, isn't it? So it's like sometimes on Facebook, I like my own posts just to make it look more popular. So
I've not done that yet.
Yeah, occasionally someone's like, "Hang on, have you liked your own post?" Oh, shut up! Don't worry about it. It's not the point, is it? No, but I like it. I was surprised at the quality of work that you picked, because I don't check, so I was expecting barrel weeds. Is that right? Hay weeds.
Tumbleweed.
There you go. Tumble is probably it must be hay, mustn't it? Or just
yeah.
Anyway, not important what the is. So, shall we jump in?
Yeah.
Weekly. You'll also have seen this slight spoiler for this already, because I jumped to this first. And I'm going to give this a go. Ratar painting.
Okay.
What do you reckon?
Yeah. What? I don't know. I'm not going to pronounce them because, as I said to you before, Instagram handles are very unusual. But if you want to follow this paint, if you like what you see here, obviously Jamie's put the handle at the top there. The model here, the background to this is a piece that the artist was thinking about putting into Monte Sansovino last year, but he couldn't attend for whatever reason. Now, I don't know if he never could or for some reason couldn't. Sorry, and I'm saying he. I don't know if the artist is male or female. He or she wasn't able to travel down to Monte Sansovino. So what they did is they shared this as what would have been their entry, and it's a model which is produced by Hera Models. So it's a company that we're familiar with, and it just stood out to me in terms of the way it's been presented, the quality of paint, the way it's been rendered as well. It's a really nice piece, and it won't be lost to you, Jamie, that he's actually sitting on top of a dragon's head.
Very good. I'm slightly jealous on the presentation. I think it's an unusual. It is jealousy because it's something that I would like to do myself. But if I just got off my ass and did it, but still, yeah, I'm grateful. In awe, I can appreciate. That's probably a better way of saying it, isn't it? I can appreciate the display in general, and it's a shame. Actually, for me in Monty, there were too many pieces to see, even though there were fewer than there were because I was filming. But it would have been nice to see it there, and it's also interesting that Ratar didn't not show everyone and then take it like next year. So fair play. I guess he'd be sick of it in a year, or they. And he was like, let's just, or they. Well, I mean, to be honest, Lionel, honestly, I think 100% of our viewers are male, according to YouTube. So I think we're safe in the assumption that it's a he. Obviously, we do know female painters. But if you were doing law of statistics and the fact that we know there's probably like 2,000 to 1 female, I reckon we're on a safe. So but I suppose we can't assume. Anyway, I like it, and I'm glad you picked it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is a really nice piece, and
Yeah.
it's been finished really nicely.
Next one then. Thanks, Ratar, for tagging yourself. And now, Lionel told me the correct name, but this is what I would have said. Son of Onion Hammer is what I thought it was, Lionel. But it is, isn't it? There's no R in there.
It is Onion Hammer. Now that I've seen it's typed up, I thought it was Odenheimer
Yeah,
because
which made more sense, right?
I thought it was a play on the Thor thing. No, but it is Son of Onion Hammer.
But that must be a play on it because he's the son of Odin.
Oh my word!
Only doesn't last long. We do have the most professional podcast, though, don't we? I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so this is a Star Wars Legion piece. So for those who don't know, that's a skirmish game. It's a miniature-based game, like much in the same way as 40K and the others. And this is a piece that has been completed for that game. I'm assuming it's been painted to a high tabletop standard. It's not meant to be a display piece. So in that sense, I think it's a really good quality model. You only need to be painting to a certain level. And I still think this is a very high level for tabletop when you're gaming with pieces, and it's part of a larger formation.
I didn't know this game existed until I went with Arnow and Albert to the internet cafe or whatever, gaming cafe. But the models are so freaking good. As a kid, Star Wars were the one game that Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, I craved for those games to exist, like good quality games. And they just didn't.
Okay.
Like there was no Lord of the Rings models, there were no Star Wars models that I could find. Obviously, games where I didn't know Citadel had a whole load of Lord of the Rings models, but they were back from the 80s. So, and eBay didn't exist when I was a kid, so like you couldn't really find them. And then when I found this, I was like, they're high quality, they're really detailed.
No, well, what's interesting is this is done by the same people who do MCP, but what they've announced, which comes out next week, or pre-orders have gone live now, is a new game called Star Wars Shatterpoint, which is basically the same premise as the MCP game. So the models are going to be larger, but skirmish based. So the rumor is that this one will be phased out, Star Wars Legion, and will be replaced with a skirmish game. But if you look at the models and the quality, if you really are after Star Wars models and a good game system, because it looks like it's built on the same game engine as the MCP one that I play, Marvel Crisis Protocol, you might want to look at that.
It's got more really detailed models.
The larger, so I think it's 45 mil. Is it?
Even with big vehicles, like.
Well, it's at the minute it's skirmish based, so it's basically you've got a Jedi and some stormtroopers or something along those lines. Yeah. It's the same scale as the MCP, and it works really well. They're slightly bigger than 28 mil, so you can spend some more time painting them.
40.
But the rule system for MCP, as you know, is very good. So if they've translated the same thing to this Star Wars Shatterpoint, look it up. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. That is quite cool, especially as we're about to embark on more gaming. The trio, the holy trio. Well, can we say this? I suppose that is in theory blasphemous, but whatever. You know, we're all friends here. It's obviously, as you say, tabletop is pretty nice, and it inspires me in a way. Not to play it so much, but more to paint it and like builds more desire to get those models, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think what's really interesting with Star Wars though is there's only really one way to paint it. You can't really come in here and add like blue on there because you'd be like, it wouldn't make sense. So that's one interesting thought. Yeah. Just quickly, this model is actually by Math. What do you know how to say that name? Mathom
Studio.
But it could be Math Home Studio.
Did you put the wrong name?
I put the wrong name. It's not important, is it? Just saw that now. Son of Onion Hammer is going to be like, that's not my model. I'm pretty sure we'll get 2 comments here where Math Home Studio. See you later. We should upgrade, shouldn't we? The problem is, right? for 3 months or 4 months we upgraded. In fact, since the third miniature stream that we did that didn't go anywhere, and it cost me literally a lot of money and time. Yeah, since then we were paying, and then obviously 4 months I paid and we didn't use it once. So I kind of feel like I shouldn't upgrade, but